Every year, Legal Response International, also known as LRI, attend the two UN climate change conferences, the Better Known Conference of the Parties, or COPs, at the end of the calendar year, and the meetings of the subsidiary bodies, typically during the month of June. At these conferences, developing country negotiators, many of whom represent the world's most climate-vulnerable nations, often lack the resources and legal support that larger delegations from industrialized nations have. This puts them at a disadvantage to participate effectively and meaningfully in the negotiations. To create a more level playing field, LRI provides free legal advice and assistance to developing country negotiating teams and civil society observer organizations at these conferences. The team on the ground includes LRI lawyers and volunteers.
When we attend the conferences, we speak to new delegates who have been in the process for the very first time that need some more basic level of legal advice, and others who are more seasoned negotiators come to us with very complex queries. And so depending on that, we either answer the query in the ground directly with the person, or we show them a previous legal advice on our database, or a recently published briefing paper that covers that topic so that they have the answer. And in cases where the topic is very complex or requires more substantive legal research, we have the volunteers in our situation room and our experts, advisors who are on hand to assist during the conference.
The LRI team draws support from volunteers in the London-based situation room, which runs throughout the conference, as well as pro bono legal experts working remotely.
At the LRI Situation Room, you experience doing legal research into all aspects of the UN climate negotiations. You work with the LRI team and other volunteers. Having volunteered with LRI at COP27 in Egypt, I think what you really get is a sense of how important the work the LRI does is for the negotiating parties at the conference. Having done the situation rooms before and helped to answer queries, seeing those queries being handed over to the negotiating parties and seeing their questions and seeing how useful it is for them, I think was really eye-opening and gives you a real sense of accomplishment and purpose, especially when you've come from the situation room and you've done the work that they've asked you to do. Seeing that in action was really special.
LRI's global network of pro bono legal experts is made up of lawyers from law firms, barrister chambers, and universities. They have expertise in a broad range of areas relevant in this process, such as public international law, human rights, international trade law, and carbon markets. During the conferences, they are on call to assist remotely with legal queries as and when needed. They may also be asked to provide legal advice outside of the conference time.
Quite often I've been remote, not necessarily always at COP. And it will be the case that LRI will reach out to me. I will know that COP is taking place, and so I'm quite attentive to my inbox at that time with the specific query and to understand whether it's something that falls within my area of expertise or within the expertise of my network of colleagues. Following confirmation of that, it's just determining what time frame would be. So some of the high-level queries we've had have included where is human rights referenced under the UNFCCC or related international legal instruments. The more technical queries will typically come down to the very specific language of a treaty and what room there is to negotiate a different interpretation. When it comes to what I have gained from it, well, as I say, I'm very passionate about this area. LRI provides me an opportunity to give back. I have also developed my technical expertise, and I get to keep my technical expertise fresh. And I would absolutely encourage anyone who is interested in this area to do so. There's a lot of flexibility in the ability to contribute.
A database of legal advice produced by LRI is available to the public, free of charge. Knowledge products, also available on the LRI website, include briefing papers and web tutorials. In addition, the team has developed the Paris Agreement A to Z app. This app explains the provisions of the Paris Agreement and its implementing guidelines. It's updated yearly and free for mobile phones and tablets.
LRI has been going for nearly 14 years, and the need for the service which is very unique in the climate change negotiation, has shown no sign of diminishing. We call and rely on lawyers at all levels of the service, so the expert for the advisory service, the more junior lawyers such as paralegals, trainees, LLM students, to help with research in the situation room, or to come with the LRI delegation at the UN negotiation, help harvest queries, learn in that process, and hopefully become later on some of the experts who will then join the organization. From a volunteer perspective, and whether you're a junior or a more senior lawyer, this is an opportunity to learn about an area of law which is perhaps not a new area of law, which is perhaps not the bread and butter of most commercial law firms. It's also an opportunity to make a real difference to the experience of negotiators from less developed and more vulnerable countries in the negotiation, and thereby help level the playing field.
If you are interested in joining us, get in touch. Send your CV to inquiries@legalresponse.org.